This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app.
All right, we've got a lot of other news going on. We've got a guy who he's retired, worked for the bomb squad. His name is John Shaky Hands Hansen. Kind of an odd name for a dude involved in disarming bombs. But he's got a theory on these drones that we're all seeing. So we'll get to him at around 5:15, and then Alex Michelson, 5:35. What a packed week, or hour, I should say. Unbelievable. Unreal. All right, a lot of people are worried about prices of everything. Housing, car insurance, gasoline, electricity, water, natural gas, taxes. Everything seems to be going up. Nothing comes down anymore. Well, guess what? Starbucks, Dutch Brothers, coffee, bean, and tea leaf, whatever that thing is, everybody's going up. Prices of coffee are going through the roof.
Trouble brewing for coffee drinkers.
Uh-oh.
Coffee roasters are set to hike prices early next year after bad weather affected crops in Brazil. Global prices for raw coffee soared to record highs this week, up 80% so far this year.
What? Raw coffee up 80%?
Up 80% so far this
Whoa.
year. The owner of Pete's Coffee saying it's raising prices by 30% in Brazil due to climate issues. It comes as a new inflation report shows the largest increase in overall consumer prices in 7 months.
We've been making nice progress on inflation. That progress has now seemed to stall. So for the second consecutive month, we're seeing this slight uptick in prices overall.
The Consumer Price Index, which tracks the cost of goods and services in the U.S., increased by 0.3% last month. Grocery prices and hotel rates driving the increase. But it's not all bad news.
Oh, we got some good news? All right, lay it on us.
What Americans are paying in rent rose by the smallest amount since 2021.
Okay, but it still went up. That's not good news. I thought you were going to tell us prices were coming down on stuff.
And inflation on car insurance is also slowing down.
We care about this report really for two reasons. First, because it tells us where prices are going into the holidays, and because it will signal what the Fed does with interest rates.
Yeah.
The Fed meets next week, and it's expected to cut interest rates by another quarter point.
All right. Okay. Quarter point. That's a big deal. Hope that keeps coming down. That would be cool. All right. We have when I was younger, we used to go out whale watching. Not used to. I mean, I've been like 3 or 4 times. But you go to San Pedro, get there early, like at 6 a.m. You get on a boat with, 40 strangers. And then you go out and you hope to see whales. And every time I've gone out, we've seen whales. So I don't know how they find them and hunt for them and pick them up on sonar or radar or whatever. But one of the cool things you can do in Southern California, and if you've not done it, I recommend taking a day and doing it. Going out whale watching is one of the coolest things you could ever possibly do. Because you're not going to a zoo. You're not going to SeaWorld. You're seeing them in their own, natural habitat. Crozier, have you ever been whale watching?
No.
Oh, you got to go, buddy.
It was always one of those things where if the opportunity ever came up, my thought was, I don't want to waste my time if we don't find none.
No, you'll find whales. They find whales, especially now in the mating season, and they're all, either going south or nothing's going south for the winter.
I did hear earlier this week, I saw a report that said they're around much later than they usually are this year.
Oh, is that right?
By now, they would already have gone south, like around September, October, they usually would have gone south. But they're in plentiful supply, apparently, for some reason up here now.
Yeah, they're all over the place. It really is a cool deal. All right, whale watching, everybody.
When some Davies Locker and Newport Landing whale watching groups first got a glimpse of this humpback whale off of the Orange County coast, they didn't notice how much trouble it was in.
Our whale watching boats had actually been watching it for over a week and didn't realize it was entangled until it breached on Sunday. And then we noticed a big line wrapped around the right pectoral fin and through the mouth.
Some of these still pictures would later highlight just how serious the situation is.
In the photos, you can see that line is really tight around the fin, and it's a very hard entanglement to remove for.
It's impossible, man. It really is impossible to get these ropes off. You gotta be able to find the whale again, and then to get close enough to take those ropes and wire off. It's going to be a real challenge
for disentanglement teams. The fear is that it will become so tight around the whale's pectoral fin that it might end up in an amputation. It could prevent the whale from feeding. It definitely will slow them down and make them sick. So hopefully that it will become disentangled at some point.
A stranding coordinator from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, who is involved in trying to help the whale, tells us this entanglement is a difficult one because the line is right by the whale's eye. And when the whale sees the knife coming as they try to cut it, the whale dives away.
Oh, no. This is going to be a tough one. Really a tough one.
And it is dangerous. This whale is mad. It is not happy. It is entangled. It has been very active near the coast, and it's just a heartbreaking thing to see.
Yeah, you got to get the specialists from SeaWorld. They're good at stuff like this.
Now, the gentleman from NOAA that we heard from says the whale has not been seen since Tuesday, and some of the other folks involved tell us that if they cannot find the whale and help it, they're hoping the whale can help itself by disentangling that cable or line that's around it.
Yeah, or show up at a at an urgent care. They'll take that sucker right off. All right, we've got an update on this fire. The fire out in Malibu. They're calling it the Franklin Fire, and it looks like they've got a pretty good containment on it. And hopefully, all the businesses and all the streets open up sometime in the next 3 or 4 days.
Cooler weather and higher humidity levels are helping fire crews make progress on the Franklin Fire in Malibu. The fire that started Monday is now 30% contained. So far, it's burned more than 4,000 acres and destroyed 6 homes. Another 10 homes have been damaged. Malibu schools remain closed today. Meanwhile, about 3,700 people have been allowed to return home after some evacuation orders were downgraded.
Yeah, it looks, I would say in the next 3 or 4 days, everything will be back to normal out there, and those businesses can open up again. And it's horrible timing because a lot of those businesses out there, the shops in Malibu, they rely on holiday money and holiday buying to stay afloat. And they've got to make their cash in the late weeks of November, early weeks of December. And for them to have been closed for a week and maybe another couple of days really hurts the bottom line out there. And so hopefully that opens up and the shops out there can open up again. The restaurants, they're also been out of business for a long time, and they lost a lot of food. A lot of the restaurants, when the electricity went out, they lost everything. So the high-end Italian restaurants or steakhouses out there, they lost all the meat, they lost all the pasta, they lost all the a lot of the refrigerated ingredients, and it's become a real nightmare for people out at Malibu. So hopefully they can open it up soon and people can get back out there and spend a few bucks. But what a nightmare that they've had 2 of those fires in the last 5-6 years. When was the Woolsey fire? I think that was 2018. 2 radical fires in the last 5 or 6 years have come through Malibu. And yet people still go out there and they still live out there because it is spectacular. If you've never been to Malibu, once the shops open and the streets open up, slide out there and you'll see instantly why people want to live there. It is spectacular in Malibu. Unbelievable. All right, when we come back, we're going to have some more information here on grocery prices. I know a lot of people are worried about that over the holidays. We talked about, prices of coffee, but grocery prices, how are they going to bring them down? Trump now says bringing down grocery prices is a priority. Let's see how that's going to happen. Let's see what he's promised and how they're going to do that.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. On Demand from KFI AM 640.
I noticed that when you go to shopping, whether you're at a grocery store or at a department store, everyone seems to be in a better mood. You know, the year's coming to an end, kind of a crazy year politically. A lot of people at each other's throats. And I think we're all sort of ignoring that now and just concentrating on family, which is what we should be doing throughout the year. But we sometimes forget. So prices on things, everybody's worried about the prices. Now, Trump says bringing down grocery prices, as he promised, is a priority, but it might be difficult. Well, that's not what we want to hear. We want prices to come down and for it to be easy.
Tonight, President-elect Donald Trump basking in the glow on Wall Street, ringing the bell at the New York Stock Exchange for the first time.
Yeah, ding dong with that bell.
Surrounded by his wife, daughters, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, and a host of his cabinet picks, Trump celebrating being named Time Magazine's Person of the Year, a recognition.
Do people still read Time Magazine? I don't know anybody that gets Time Magazine. Nobody.
A recognition he's long cherished.
It's been an honor, and every time it's an honor, I will tell you, and thank you very much for doing it.
On Wall Street, Trump pledging his commitment to Main Street, promising to deliver on his campaign promise to bring down prices fast.
Prices are going to start coming down because people can't afford their groceries.
That's right.
And they're going to be affording their groceries very soon.
But in his interview with Time, Trump was asked if his presidency would be a failure if the prices of groceries don't go down.
Yes, I think yes.
I don't think so, he said. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. It's very hard, but I think that they will.
There's nothing political about national security.
On Capitol Hill today, Trump's nominee for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth meeting for the first time with a Democratic senator, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania.
All right. Fetterman is probably one of the only cats that will or may vote in favor.
Fetterman, tight-lipped.
Are you considering voting for him?
Yeah, so it's just like it's a conversation.
Are you open to supporting him, Senator?
Hegseth has been battling accusations of sexual misconduct, excessive drinking, and financial mismanagement.
Wow. What a resume.
Hegseth has been battling accusations of sexual misconduct, excessive drinking, and financial mismanagement. He's denied it all.
Okay. Speaking of excessive drinking, we have Johnny Shaky Hands Hansen from the L.A. County Sheriff's Department, ex-bomb squad member. Shaky Hands, how you, bub?
I'm good, buddy. How you been?
I've been doing excellent. It sounds like you're driving somewhere. Is that true?
We just left the mall, did a little shoplifting for Christmas.
All right, okay.
And
now, how many years were you at the bomb squad, L.A. County Sheriff's Department?
I was at the bomb squad 10 years, Sheriff's Department total of 35.
Okay. And the bomb squad, you have to be right every single time.
Just like in a marriage, you're right every single time, right. No matter what.
That's right. All right. What is your theory, since you have a lot of experience in the profession? What is your theory about these drones? Why are we seeing them, and why should we be concerned about them?
My theory is they are doing some testing with payload. I used to run the drone program for the Sheriff's Department. And we had to establish protocols for SoFi and for Dignity Health, as well as the Rose Bowl, for any drone landing on the field of play or inside the stadium. So basically, if we observed any kind of payload on this drone, it was treated as a suspicious item, either a hazmat item or an explosive item. And then our protocols for that are completely different from just a down drone.
Okay.
So it sounds like the directive that New Jersey Fire Department put out, they must have some kind of information that this drone's carrying a payload.
Oh, wow.
Because those are the exact protocols for a drone with a payload.
All right. Now, again, Johnny Hansen's with us, retired L.A. County Sheriff's Bomb Squad. Isn't it possible to put up a do not fly perimeter where you can block the signals from the remote to the drone in a certain area?
There are, but those are limited. So we have some of those things around some stadiums, but again, if this is a military drone, our stuff is not really going to affect it. And then a lot of this, they've been reporting over kind of housing areas, civilian housing. So it would be impossible to put up a large-scale, either drone detection system or drone avoidance system because it's such a vast area.
Right, and it affects probably other signals as well, not just the drones.
Yeah, that's the problem. So a lot of those systems have to be approved by the FAA because a lot of the wavelengths that these drones are flying on affect other things such as planes, helicopters, other aircraft.
You know, we covered a story yesterday in Irvine that Irvine is, 10 to 15 years ahead of a lot of cities where they use drones and they send a drone out to a crime scene. And many times the drone gets there before the cops do, and they can start surveilling immediately. That's a great idea.
There's several cities. I know some of the South Bay cities, Torrance, Redondo Beach, they have a similar program, and it's pretty successful, especially if you have a drone ready to launch immediately and, you have a smaller city such as Burbank, Glendale, Torrance, Redondo, you could see immediate, get eyes on that immediately and start directing in the ground units.
Yeah, that's a great asset. That's really cool.
Definitely.
Yeah. Buddy, have a great Merry Christmas to you and your daughter and your wife and the whole family, and we really appreciate you calling.
All right, buddy. You need anything, let me know.
All right, thanks, man. All right, there he goes. Johnny Hanson with L.A. County Sheriff's Department, retired bomb squad. And I would run into him down at SoFi Stadium. They were in charge of protecting SoFi Stadium. And he had a dog named Trixie. And that dog was strong as hell and hyper as hell. And we'd walk around the stadium, and I witnessed this firsthand. We were walking around the stadium, and there was a 12-year-old girl walking around with a hot dog. And this dog, Trixie, grabbed that dog and polished it before that kid even knew it was gone. Grabbed that dog out of that girl's hand, bang, 2 bites, gone. And I think Johnny ended up having to buy the kid a new dog.
Doesn't Johnny get to keep the dog?
No, Johnny was very relieved to give that dog back. It was too hyper. It was up at all hours. He had to get up at 5 a.m. to walk that dog every day. I think that's why he retired, to get rid of that dog.
Is the dog retired?
No, the dog's still working.
The dog is still working?
Yeah, it's still working and still stealing hot dogs from kids. Trixie is the name of that dog.
I wonder how many times he eye-rolled having that dog.
Oh,
this dog.
I know.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Every Friday we have our buddy on, Alex Michelson, and a little late today because of, sports or something. Alex, welcome to KFI. How you, bub?
Ding dong with you. How are you?
With you. What's going on with the scheduling? Why so late today?
We have we have college basketball on Fox tonight, so they moved the news into the 4 p.m. hour. So I just had to be on air for that. So now I'm
the very popular Indiana-Nebraska game, huh?
The big game everybody's talking about. I know only the best. The big moment. Yeah.
I was watching Fox News last night, and it went right into the Rams game. That's cool that you guys have the Rams. That must be a huge boost in your ratings.
Yeah, well, it was nice. So whenever there is a Amazon game and it's one of the home teams in the market, then you're able to put that on regular TV. So we won the bidding for that, and we were able to do it, which I'm sure, was a huge ratings boost.
Now, are you a Rams fan?
Looking good. Isn't it exciting? I'm excited about them.
All right, so you're a Rams fan. You grew up a Rams fan?
Well, I didn't totally grow up a Rams fan because we didn't have the Rams here for most of my childhood.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, right. I'm a little older than you.
I've become a Rams fan.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like 28 or whatever you say you are,
28, yeah.
28.
That's it.
But I was a huge Rams fan growing up. Then when they went away, and I became an anti-Rams fan. Then they came back, and I was like a girlfriend that broke up with me and mistreated me. I go running right back into her arms.
So you're all in. You're all about the Rams now?
And I hate the 49ers. I can't stand the 49ers, and I love to watch them lose. I'd rather watch the 49ers lose than the Rams win.
Well, and how, because whenever the Rams play the 49ers at SoFi Stadium, the whole stadium is San Francisco people. I don't know if you've been to those games. It's really
90%.
It's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
And so for us to go to their stadium and beat them there was so great.
Not only to beat them there, but we beat the Rams beat them here as well and swept them for the first time in 23 years. How old were you 23 years ago?
I don't even know. That's too much math for me. But I know that they haven't.
You're like 8.
Won. Yeah, they haven't won 3 games in a row against the Niners, which they now have done. It's the first time since Kurt Warner was the quarterback back when they were in St. Louis. So it's a good time for the Rams against them. Now, of course, the Niners have had plenty of injuries this year, so they're not exactly at full strength.
Not only injuries, but they also have guys quitting in the middle of the game.
Yeah, but the Rams had plenty of injuries at the beginning of the season. They found a way to keep going despite all that, and now their guys are all getting healthy and getting back together just at the time when it matters most. And
perfect.
Who knows? Maybe this team is able to go on a run. It's exciting.
We're on a roll. All right, so your girl, I thought about you today. Your girl got injured in Europe. What happened to Nancy Pelosi?
My girl. Well, according to the New York Times, she was I think taking a group photo, and there were these it was a marble staircase, and she took a fall, and I don't know if she broke her hip or fractured or what exactly happened with her hip, but she's 84 years old, and so when you take a fall in your 80s, sometimes bad things happen, as we all know with our relatives, and so she's not going to any of the events for the rest of the time. She's getting medical care, and hopefully she's back at it relatively soon.
Right. And again, I'm not trying to be, stupid here or smart or funny or whatever, but are you close enough where you'll send her a card or flowers?
No.
All right. I'm just checking, buddy. I'm just checking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that we're on the same page here. All right. What's on the big show tonight? I know you got The Issue Is, very popular program.
Thank you very much. We've got a conversation with Kara Swisher, the big tech journalist and prolific podcaster, one of the most popular podcasters, talking about tech. So we're talking about Elon Musk and Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and some of these amazing stories of where artificial intelligence is going. So it's a bit of a break from politics and talking about the world of technology and how it impacts all of us.
You think Trump lets all the January 6ers out of jail on day one?
I think he lets a lot of them out. Yeah. I think that's part of. I think his day one is going to be insane in terms of the amount of activity.
I think you're right.
That Trump likes to flood the zone, right. And so when there's so much happening, things can get through, and it's too much to pay attention to at once. So I think you're going to see the January 6ers. I think you're going to see big changes in terms of immigration policy. I think you're going to be seeing changes all across the government. I'm actually going to be in Washington that day because we're going to cover the inaugural, and they're originally going to have me on a plane ride back that day. And I said to my bosses, I got to be there for the first day because there's going to be so much that happens on day one. We're going to want to be there to cover that. So I think that first day is going to be insane.
Does KTTV have the clout and the pull to get you inside the press room or inside the White House?
Does KTTV or do I have?
Do you have it?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to try. Right. I remember being there, when the Obama to Trump transition happened, and I did go in the press room then. I was working for ABC back then, but I'm going to try. I think it would be fascinating to be there and to report live from the White House would be awesome.
Last time I remember you there, you were uncomfortable, but are you going to be more comfortable this time wearing your MAGA hat?
It seems like it's loud and proud now. The crazy thing, remember that Curb episode where Larry David wore the MAGA hat in order to have nobody bother him in L.A.?
That's right.
And he got like great parking spots and great tables and all the rest of it because nobody wanted to be near him.
Right.
It seems like that has changed.
Yeah.
Now there are legitimately a lot of people in Southern California that are wearing their MAGA hats proudly and getting high fives for it. And the dynamics in even some of the most liberal cities has changed. Obviously, Donald Trump is not the most popular person in Los Angeles, but there's a whole lot of people that felt embarrassed showcasing their support years ago or the last time around that now seem to be very excited to showcase it publicly.
There was an old joke on why MAGA fans never wear their MAGA hat backwards, because they want to see the guy that's going to kick his ass. Pretty amusing. All right, so
that's a good line.
I'd like to go to this as well. I'd like to go to. I've never been to an inauguration. What time does he take over? By the way, is it early in the afternoon?
Noon. I mean, it's like written in the Constitution at noon exactly. So they'll take the oath right then. Yeah, you should come. We should do some stuff out there. Wouldn't
Let's
that be
go.
fun?
That would be great.
Yeah.
I would love to go. I'm looking at airfare right now. It's still expensive. You know, it's the week before and the week after. It's like $200 round trip, but that week it's like $1,200.
Yeah. But it's history.
Yeah, it's history.
You can never do that again.
And I don't know how many more I have left, and it's going to be crazy. I mean, everybody in the world's going to be watching it, and he's even invited, what's his name from China, the president, the head of China, Xi Jinping is going to be there. Do you think he shows up?
I don't know if he's accepted the invitation, but he invited him. That would be amazing. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he's there. I mean, if the U.S. and China, for everything that everybody, all the problems between the two countries are so linked to each other financially, that they both need each other for so many reasons, that Xi Jinping has a lot of reason to show up here, just like, Trump has reason to show up to China.
That's right. That's exactly right. And proof of that, about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a video that went around where a kid got 15 gifts from Santa and separated them by which ones were made in America and which ones were made in China. And it was 14-1 China.
Yeah.
Lots of gifts.
So,
buddy, I appreciate you coming on. Have a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever you guys, observe. And appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, sir.
I guess this is our last appearance together for the new year because you're taking off. So
I might take a couple
wish you all the best to your family.
I'll be around though. I'll be some place where you'll never find me. Walmart.
Santa Anita? Oh yeah, Walmart.
But I appreciate you coming on. Have a nice day and nice weekend and happy holidays, Bob.
Thanks. Thanks to you.
Thank you. There he goes, Alex Michelson with The Issue Is tonight at 10:30. It's a good show. You should check it out. Tape it, record it, and then watch it later. Or don't. It's up to you.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
A big shout out, or I guess I'm shouting out. My daughter's corrected that. We're not giving a shout out. We're shouting somebody out. I guess there's a way to do that. Are you going to shout them out? Not give them a shout out. But George McNee, Mike McNee is a sales guy I've known forever. I used to work with him at KXLS. I worked with him here at KFI. Before we went to the same college together, went to the same high school together. I've known this guy, Mike McNee, my whole life. Went to the same kindergarten. I've known this guy since I was 3. And he works here at KFI. And his beautiful dad, George McNee, listens to the show. Huge fan of KFI. So, George, you raised the perfect son. Everybody in the world would be proud to have a son like Mike McNee. Always level-headed. I've known the guy for 40 years, almost 50 years. Never seen him pissed once. Always happy-go-lucky, always positive. And it's really tough to do in today's world. Really tough to do. With how much crap you have to deal with on a daily basis. Yet that is a solid guy. And George, if he's still listening, or if he's listening at all, the only thing that people judge you for at the end of your life, and I think Jacqueline Onassis or Jackie Kennedy, then Jackie Onassis said this, the only thing that people judge you for at the end of your life is how you raised your kids. That's the only bar that they look at. And the only thing they don't care if you own the Lakers at the end, or if you own the Dodgers, or a strip mall, or you're homeless, whatever your life is. At the end, it doesn't matter how many cars you have, how many planes you have, how much money you have. It's how you raised your kids. And that Mike McNee was beautifully raised. And that George McNee should write a book on how to do that. That's impossible to do. Impossible. I know. I'm a dad. It's hard. Every day you got to work on it. No handbook that comes with it. You got to fly by the seat of your pants and take a guess at everything. And it's very difficult to do. Very, very difficult. All right, the DMV is apologizing over license plate mocking October 7th. How about this screw up?
California DMV says it is taking swift action after it issued a license plate mocking the October 7th, 2023 terrorist attack on Israel. The group Stop Anti-Semitism posted this picture to social media on Thursday. It says the plate was seen at the intersection of Jefferson and Sepulveda Boulevards in Culver City. It reads LOL October 7. The DMV apologized.
How about that screw up? You know, somebody wasn't keeping an eye on the internet.
Sepulveda Boulevards in Culver City. It reads LOL October 7.
Wow. And nobody investigated that? Nobody said, hey, what's that all about? And maybe put October 7th. You know, if you go, I'm on Google right now. If I put October 7th, okay, and I hit enter, the first thing that comes up is the anniversary of the October 7th attack. The second thing that comes up, what's significant about October 7th? Why? What special day is October 7th? What happened on October 7th? It's all right there in front of you. And somebody in the DMV missed it. The first thing it comes up is Wikipedia. And you click on it, and there's probably 35 pages of what happened on October 7th. So somebody missed it. And then the people that had to see that license plate, can you imagine that? You had a son or a daughter involved in that, and you looked over, and somebody has a license plate that says LOL October 7th. What happened? What happened to people? I don't know. All right. Speaking of what happened to people, a couple from California, went to Mexico on vacation, and they were shot.
We're learning a California couple has been shot and killed while on vacation in western Mexico. The Michoacan prosecutor's office says this happened in the town of Angamacutiro. That's about halfway between Puerto Vallarta and Mexico City. The victims have been identified as 53-year-old Rafael Cardona and 50-year-old Gloria Ambris, the brother and sister-in-law of the mayor there. The couple arrived in late November to spend the holidays with family. Now, we don't know yet which part of California they are from. This comes after several high-profile killings and abductions in the area by drug gangs.
It's rough out there. And it doesn't seem to be getting better. We always hear about, crime going down and crime stats are down. I don't know. Maybe it'll be better now with the new DA. Possibly. But there's crime everywhere. This Luigi Mangione, prosecutors are taking the case against him to a grand jury. This is the guy that killed Brian Thompson in the streets of New York a week ago Wednesday. It was last Wednesday morning this happened.
The young man charged with murdering Brian Thompson was never a client of United Healthcare, but police say they're investigating whether Luigi Mangione targeted the company because of its size. The company tells ABC News Brian Thompson's killer was not a member of United Healthcare. The NYPD telling NBC New York Mangione did, however, mention it's the fifth largest corporation in America.
We anticipate that before very long, he'll be brought back to New York where he needs to be.
Okay, when we come back, we'll finish up with this. This is a story that just doesn't end. It has gotten the attention worldwide, and we'll come back with some more details on this. It's the Conway Show, live right here on KFI AM 640.
Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.